Hello, welcome to our final lesson on applied taxonomy. That is our scientific classification or grouping of organisms. Our objective today is when we're finished, I can classify organisms into a kingdom. In our last lesson, we did domains. Kingdoms are the level below domains. Just to review, there are some traits that we use to help us classify into domains and further into kingdoms. Autotroph or heterotroph, sexual or asexual, multicellular, unicellular, and prokaryotic, eukaryotic. In case you have forgotten what those mean, autotroph means a producer. Heterotroph is a consumer. Reproduction is asexual when you have just one parent with identical offspring, or sexual two parents have diverse offspring or different offspring. Cell type prokaryotic is no nucleus. Eukaryotic has a nucleus. And is the organism just one cell or many cells? Those are the traits we're going to use to classify something into a kingdom. Now, there are 6 kingdoms and 3 domains. Archaea, do you remember that domain? Has one kingdom called Archaea bacteria. These organisms live in extreme conditions, such as in volcanoes or deep in the sea, where most other living organisms could not survive. The domain called bacteria also only has one kingdom called eubacteria. The largest of our domains, Eukaryota, actually has 4 kingdoms: Plantae, Protista, Fungi, and Animalia. Now, as with our domains, we look at how they're structured, how the organisms are structured and their traits, and use them to help us classify. Archaea bacteria is a prokaryote, asexual, unicellular autotroph. Eubacteria has its own things just like Archaea bacteria, but some of them are heterotrophs. Plantae, fungi, Animalia, and Protista, we're going to look at them a little closer because these are the kingdoms we are most familiar with. And so we're going to use those in our exercise to classify kingdoms. For example, I want to classify an oak tree. I've seen them. I have them in my yard. I want to know which exactly kingdom does it go to? Plantae, fungi, Protista, or Animalia. Now, to do this, I look at its traits. I find out it's eukaryotic, and all of these kingdoms are eukaryotic. So I can't classify there. It is multicellular. Well, Plantae, fungi, Animalia. Oh, wait, Protista is only unicellular. So I can already mark that out, and I just have 3 to look at now. It is an autotroph. That means it's a producer. It produces its own food. Plantae are autotrophs. Oh, fungi are heterotrophs. Animalia are only heterotrophs. They're both consumers. So I have to rule out fungi and I have to rule out Animalia, and now I'm left with only Plantae. Notice my oak tree is asexual, and so is the Plantae kingdom. So now I know my oak tree goes into kingdom Plantae. Now you notice that this looks like plants, and that's pretty much what it is. Just like this one looks like animals, pretty much what it is. But you do have to be careful. In just a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause your video because it is your turn to classify an organism, and you're going to classify a platypus. Platypuses are eukaryotic, multicellular, heterotrophs, and they are sexual in reproduction. Go ahead and pause your screen and try your hand at classifying a platypus into one of these 4 kingdoms. Did you figure it out? Did you apply your taxonomy? Let's look at it together. Platypus is eukaryotic, just like plantae, fungi, Animalia, and Protista. So all four kingdoms are still applying. Multicellular, plantae, fungi, Animalia. Oh, Protista is not multicellular, it's only unicellular, so I can mark it out. It is a heterotroph, meaning it's a consumer. Oh, wait, plantae is only autotrophs, so I can mark it out too. Fungi is a heterotroph, and so is Animalia. So I'm down to 2 kingdoms. And the last one says asexual reproduction. Platypuses reproduce with 2 parents. And Animalia does. Oh, but look, fungi is asexual. And so the only kingdom that is left is the kingdom of Animalia. And if you've done this correctly, you have classified a platypus in the kingdom of Animalia. So this lesson, our objective was to be able to classify organisms into a kingdom. And we just did that together. This completes our unit on applying taxonomy with our organisms to be able to understand which domain, which kingdom they belong in. See you next time.